I just felt like that place could have like took me in a different path that who knows where I would have ended up, you know? Like when I look at that place, I just think of like what God did in my life, like how going into a place like that, like it's the end, it's over, but God actually like, I don't know, used the mess that I was in and used like that situation to like turn it around and like change the person that I was into the person who I am now. Who would think that like I would come from a place like that to a college campus involved in seeing lives transformed? I was moving methamphetamines, marijuana, sometimes even heroin. I considered myself the best at what I did. Someone who could get better prices than anybody, as someone who could do anything in that world. And I ended up in a drug addiction of 9 years. And through my drug addiction, I continued to live that lifestyle. The last time I ended up here in Laredo facilities was through this moment in my life where I felt like there was no more hope. There was nothing left for me to do in this world. Like I had filled the void in my heart in so many different ways. So I decided to go down this path of searching spirituality and God. And I was captivated by the gospel story. I was captivated by the story of Jesus and how he came to set the captives free. And that night when I realized that Jesus had done that he had died for me and I could restart my life and start fresh, I cried out to the Lord and I asked him to give me a sign. And the sign was, a few days later, my house got raided and I felt peace. I felt like I needed to redeem myself from all the bad stuff I'd done to people. So that's when I tried picking up my Bible, and I did pick up my Bible, but I didn't know how to read it or what to do. And I felt like the Holy Spirit was leading me to just read through the Bible from front to back. Like, I just read it. That's what led me to the path of like, I need to figure this out, need to get out of my circumstances. And so that's why I feel like the Holy Spirit led me to a path of like higher education. Oh man, the first day was the toughest. I don't know why I did this, but I took a PE class and I was on house arrest, so I had an ankle monitor. It was really tough. It was really tough to have people see me as someone who is a felon, someone who has come out of incarceration. Luckily, like I had an encounter with Jesus and like I knew that Jesus was calling me to that, so I had to be fully dependent on God. In this season of life, as I'm going to school, like I'm also not just going to school, but I'm trying to like understand how Jesus plays a role in my life. Interestingly, I seen a sign that said like Bible studies, and I was like, man, that's cool. Like I could be on campus like all day doing my homework and then like attend a Bible study. Like I needed that. In that Bible study was like the first time that I felt like seen, I felt welcomed, I felt I could be amongst other students who are trying to figure out Jesus, who are curious about Jesus. So my heart was for formerly incarcerated students that felt what I felt when I got out and when I started college, was to make them feel seen and known. I come into the next semester and my friend now, Paul Benton, is replanting Bakersfield, has this big vision. He felt like I could be used for that, and he asked me to become a Bible study leader. He equipped me, he gave me the resources, and I started leading Bible studies. And like, I was super excited. I was like, man, like we're living out the book of Acts. We're in this melting pot of this harvest field that has like different ethnic backgrounds, people with different ideologies, people with different like religious backgrounds, people who like don't know about Jesus. And I was just captivated by that. I met Isaac, and Isaac is a student who wants to start a Bible study on campus. He has a supernatural encounter with Jesus, and he sees me helping students lead Bible studies, and he comes to me and says, hey, we need that, like, in our corner.
God sends people no matter what situation you're going through. That was a big blessing of running to that Bible study, especially after these different barriers I go through on a daily basis. There's times I even talk to him when I'm running late. I end up running late for classes because we get caught up in our conversation. When he's out evangelizing, like talking, preaching to others, I notice other students come along and they see it. And then he'll be ministering to somebody, and then I start realizing, like, okay, I'm not alone.
There's some students like Isaac who have been changed by God and are on campus trying to seek a better way out of life. And Jesus has called them into that.
A lot of times we could preach the word and preach the gospel, but if we don't know what a person or individual goes through on a daily basis, other than what we lived, it's hard for us to reach certain areas in their life. It shows that unconditional love that Jesus has for us.
God has showed me, and I was to see this corner of campus and have a heart for this corner of campus, but you might have a heart for a corner of campus that's unreached. There's people in these corners that are curious and need the hope of Jesus. And they're already on a journey to finding Jesus, and you might be the person that introduces or makes this space for them to meet Jesus and follow Jesus with their whole life and their whole heart. Man, I don't know if it's lucky, but God's giving me a second chance, and I'm not gonna throw that away, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to expand the kingdom of God on earth. So that's my calling, man. That's what God has called me to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.